one of the biggest challenges for this government is how do you create jobs? Do you fear that that perhaps remains the big challenge, that missing piece in any dream of Make in India?
I think I was watching when Arun was speaking in the morning. I agree with him that that is the priority. Look, why do we build economies? Why do you have manufacturing? Why do you make things? It's in order to employ people. That is not the end. The manufacturing economy is not an end in itself.
What is the one fundamental thing that has changed in the last 2.5 years?
No, Rajdeep, I think the key thing is that there's a huge focus on competitive federalism, of states competing with each other, not merely on ease of doing business, but for the first time we're making the states compete on education, on health, on water management. And you know, the challenge is if states compete and they get ranked and they get named and shamed, and if you put it out in public domain, as we saw it happening on ease of doing business, you'll see states improving. My personal view is that you need to create about 12, 13 champion states in India. If 12 states grow at 10% plus, then India is bound to grow at 9 to 10% plus.
I take your point, and along with that, Mr. Mahindra, today if you are an investor, would you really invest in a Bihar, for example? Or would you still go to the special economic zone, which has been nicely laid out for you in an Andhra Pradesh and Gujarat? Two states, market-friendly, much more outward. Would you really go and invest in a Bihar? Honest answer.
There is no rocket science in trying to understand why investors go where they do. They want infrastructure. They do want ease of doing business. They want a skilled population. But at the end of the day, what you want is leadership. And you want a leadership that is committed and delivers on its promises. I would prefer a leadership that measures the promises it makes, calibrates them, but delivers on them.
The challenge for India really is to bring in total factor productivity improvement. You know, it's just not feasible for India to grow at high rates of 9 to 10% over a 3-decade period, which is what the challenge is, without productivity improvements. And without total factor productivity, the key there is labor and land reforms, where states, Gujarat, Maharashtra, I think even Bihar and UP will have to take the lead.
I've been so tired of living in a country without great expectations that it's such a relief to live in one now where there are expectations. And the major change that we see, why we are positive, look, this is a government that takes risks. We can end up splitting hairs about is it working, will it work, will it not. My goal is, whether it's Swachh India, Skill India, Make in India, are they good objectives? And is risk being taken, even with demonetization? There was an old saying, I think some CEO said that, look, if you take risks, you're going to have failures. But if you don't take risks, you will do nothing. And that the biggest risk of all is not to take any risk. And this government is taking risk. That's why I'm positive.